Hello and welcome to Season 5, Episode 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, I've got a live con match at home to Barnet in League 2. But before we get into that, let's have a look back at the last month in this save. It started off with the game from the last live episode, which was away to Crawley. We lost 2-1, and I was sad. We then played Yeovil at home. We drew 2-2. Frustrating games. We went 2-0 up. And then let them back into it. It was in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, and I think Yeovil are the division above us as well. So we did quite well to last as long as we did, but we lost the game on penalties. There was some encouraging things to come out of it, though, not least of which was how well we performed in our new system, the 4-2-3-1 that we've been using, with some of the reserve players thrown in there. So we brought the Peg and Jack O'Connell in at the back. Adam Chapman came into midfield alongside Owen Garvin, and Denzel Boadu, Paul Taylor and Tom Youngs all came into the side as well in attack. So some positives to take out of it, but a bit of a shame to lose it the way we did. This was even more disappointing. We lost 2-1 at home to Rochdale. Never really looked like getting anything out of the game. I am still persisting with the 4-2-3-1, but it is frustrating when things like this happen. And then we drew 0-0 at home to Burton. Didn't really look like creating anything. Pretty boring 0-0 draw, really. But we did then go away to Notts County. We won 2-1 with a slightly more defensive-minded version of the 4-2-3-1. If you remember, a couple of episodes back when we played York, they played the sort of weird 4-2-1-2-1 formation that I laughed at the time. But I used that in this game, playing away from home on a counter-attacking system. And we did okay. We won it with a last-minute Declan McManus goal. Pretty happy with the way we played in that match. But then this happened. We've crashed again. Ignore those Burton and Notts County results. They never happened. We're on Earth 4 now. This game really needs to stop crashing sometime soon. I want this to be my long-term save that lasts all the way through FM16. But if it keeps crashing like this, and it's becoming more often now, it's going to be a struggle to get it into the sort of 2025 season plan that I've got for it, which would be a real shame. But never mind, let's replay those games. And hurrah! Earth 4 were more successful than we were on Earth 1. We beat Burton 1-0. Played really well as well. And then we went away to Notts County. We beat them 3-2. Again, playing really well. But then this happened. Wrexham are bottom of the league. We went there. This was with the sort of counter-attacking version of the 4-2-3-1 again. And it just didn't work against Wrexham. We were 2-0 down after 37 minutes. We then switched to the more attacking version that we've been using. That led to us completely dominating possession, creating loads and loads of chances, but we just couldn't score. Positives to take out of it, though, and I am trying to judge this more on the way we're playing rather than on results at the moment, because we are struggling a little bit for results. We created more clear-cut chances than they did. So on another day, I'd like to think we would have won that match. So I'm still going to persist with these two systems. The more attacking one to be used at home or when we're in the lead and it's 20 minutes to go. The more defensive one for bigger games or away games, or to close down the match at the end, and sort of switching between the two as the game dictates. That's where we are board-wise. They're only satisfied with me now. Their patience is pretty impressive, because we're still nowhere near the playoff position we're supposed to be. We are back in the top half of the table now. We're up to 11th. To be fair, we're only 2 points behind York, who are in the final playoff position in 7th place at the moment. I can't have York finishing above us. So it's not a disaster at this stage, but definite room for improvement. And I am glad to be at a club where I do seem willing to show that patience. So this is the team that we're using for today's game against Barnet. This is the more attacking version of the two. That's the defensive version. So the midfield three basically all just drop back, and we also convert the striker from an advanced forward to a false nine just to keep him a little bit more connected to what's going on behind him. But we're at home. This is what we're going to do today. So we've got Christy Pym in goal. Pretty settled back four now. Cameron Gale, George Ray, Remy Street and Ben Tilney. The midfield two of Marlon Pack and Owen Garvin. Again, pretty settled. To be honest, the whole team's pretty settled at this point. Johnson Clark Harris up front on his own. With Lee Novak, Daniel Trickett-Smith and Jack Stacey as the midfield three behind him. The two wide men tuck in, the fullbacks push on. It should work really well. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully I get a chance to show off the system today, because there have been a few times when I've been playing games offline where it has just looked awesome. So Yes, we're the favourites. Let's be calm. We don't want to get too excited. Yeah, let's say that. Brilliant. Had no effect at all. Assistant manager, take over. You had no effect either. Brilliant. What a management team we are. So let's get into this match. Let's score some goals. I can't remember the last time we really, really stuffed a team in a live com. And we do have good wins from time to time. And it'd just be nice to do one while you lot are watching, so that you believe it's actually happening when you're not, because it gets so frustrating when we have these high-scoring games like the Notts County one, where we played really, really well, and then we come into these live comms and it's going to be a boring 0-0, or we're going to get beaten. Come on, Exeter, we're 20 minutes in, we've not done anything, we've not even had a shot. Barnet have had all the possession. To be fair, they've only had one shot as well. And that was off target. Imagine paying to go into this football match. Oh, there you go. We have a highlight. Trickett Smith to Garvin, who finds Ben Tilney to Lee Novak. Novak switches the play across to Cameron Gale. Can he get the cross in? He does. It finds Clark Harris, who finds Stacey. And that's 1-0. And that's what I'm talking about. When this system works well, it looks like that. Johnson Clark Harris has been the striker I've been looking for the 18 months or so I've been at Exeter. I'm a little bit worried that he goes back to Rotherham mid-December, and I don't think we're going to be able to afford to bring him back on a long term, and we're having to pay a loan fee for him, and we're really, really going to miss him. We've got no transfer budget left. We've got a little bit of transfer kitty, so perhaps we might be able to convince them to... Sorry, we've got a little bit of wage money, no transfer money. Perhaps we'll be able to convince them to let us have him till the end of the season. Otherwise, we need a replacement for him. Lee Novak there. He's really loving playing as an inside forward. That's his 7th goal of the season. He's already almost matched his total from last year when he was playing up front. Just really, really suits this inside forward role. And that's one inside forward in Stacey. Cross across to Lee Novak. And look how central he is. He's playing out on the wing. But he is the central striker there. I love it when inside forwards work properly. It's probably the most exciting thing I find about Football Manager. I'm such a loser. But I really enjoy seeing an inside forward playing well in Football Manager with a nice overlapping fullback. Oh, it's good to watch. Right, hopefully we're going to hold on to that and go in 2-0 up at half time. And I'd quite like us to still be 2-0 up going into the second half. I've been persisting with team talks for 2 seasons now, and I just can't do them. To be fair, neither can he. Brilliant. If someone would like to explain team talks to me in the comments, I'd love that, because I think I could do more harm than good half the time. But yeah, if we can hold on to this for another 15-20 minutes or so, I'll switch to the counter-attacking one so that you can see how that plays as well. But Tilney with the cross here finds Stacey, who finds Novak. Novak sort of dawdled on the ball for a little bit too long there, and it falls to Marlon Pack, who can't keep hold of it, but he presses well, and we win the ball back. I do like it. I like a bit of pressing as well. I'm enjoying this match. It's not often I enjoy a live com, but I'm getting into this one. We're playing good football. This is what I want to see. See, this is where we're going to concede from a set piece, though. But we get the ball away. But it wouldn't be a highlight if that's all it was. Marlon Pack intercepts, finds Johnson Clark Harris, gets it out to Novak. Can Novak find Tilney on the overlap? He does. We just need a... Oh, no, he tucks it back inside to Trickett Smith, who's very deep. Finds Tilney again in a very advanced position, and Jack Stacey. And it's 3-0. What a signing he's been. Again, he's only here on loan until mid-December. We're not paying a loan fee for him, though, or any of his wages. So fingers crossed we can keep that guy until the end of the season. That's his fifth goal already on his loan spell. He's playing out on the wing and is really, really proving to be an excellent inside forward. Look at that, 2 goals and an assist today. What more could you want? He's a young lad with a big future ahead of him. And we need to try and extend that loan, because we would certainly miss him as and when he went back to Rotherham. Right, I don't know that the match situation necessarily dictates needing to go counter-attacking at this point. We're 3-0 and in control of the game. But that being said, I just want to show you the system. So those 2 drop backs, we go deep line playmaker with Pack on defend and defensive midfielder on support with Garvin. So they're basically doing their same jobs but deeper on the pitch. We've still got the fullbacks overlapping. Trickett Smith, again, he's still an advanced playmaker on support, but he drops back to play closer into the central midfield. Novak becomes a support inside forward rather than attack, just again to try and keep this whole area linked up a little bit more. I don't want to leave my forwards isolated. That's the same thinking behind making Clark Harris a false 9 on support rather than an advanced forward on attack, because if he stayed in as advanced forward, he's just going to be up there on his own, nothing going on for him. So that's what we're switching to. We're just going to make a couple of substitutions as well. Jonathan Abika is really struggling. He's on a long run without scoring a goal. He has not been the solution to our striking woes that I hoped he would be. Let's take Trickett Smith off as well. In fact, we're in a strong position. I want to give Jack Rolls another run out. He's not had much of a chance this season. Normally I'd bring Sam Foley on because we'd be struggling. But let's give Jack Rolls a go because I really liked him. He had a good run in the side towards the end of last season and he impressed. But then bringing Owen Garvin in and switching to only playing 2 central midfield players has really limited his opportunities this year. But he's still young. And I would love him to force better than either Garvin or Pack. Then we really have got a good midfield on our hands. So very much want Jack Rolls to push on and fight his way back into the first team again. Right. See, now we've got the problem where we don't have another holding midfielder to bring on. I'd quite like to take Garvin off. But what I'll actually do is take off Lee Novak, bring on Paul Taylor, who I don't think you've seen yet. He came in the summer. I hyped him up quite a lot. He used to play for Posh in real life, but he got injured pretty much straight away. He's really not done anything for me at all so far, but he really likes playing as an inside forward. Inside forward on the left wing, on a support instruction. That is his natural position, according to all his assistant manager reports. So he should do really, really well, particularly in this counter-attacking system. But I suppose just giving him these little 10-minute bursts isn't really doing him any favours at all. But you never know, he might score a spectacular goal to round off the game. There we go. I think we're just closing things out now. Final whistle. Barnet have not had a shot on target all match. We have absolutely dominated them there. And that is good to see. A live com match where we played really well. I can't believe it. These things do happen sometimes. It's a Christmas miracle. I don't even know. It's probably Boxing Day or something when this episode comes out. I'm recording it on Christmas Eve. Let me call it a Christmas miracle. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the future bits and bobs that I've got coming up. In fact, someone has asked, and I will try and remember to start doing it, for me to start showing the league table after the matches so you can see what impact the live com has. So you can see that's actually put us up into the playoff positions. Very importantly, we've leapfrogged York. I don't know how Bolton are in League 2. How did that happen? But there's quite a gap between us, who are sort of leading the chasing pack now, and the top 6. So we need to try and close that gap, and I would love to push for automatic promotion still this season. Now we've sorted out some of these tactical issues. But yeah, as I said, thanks very much for watching.